Hey friends, happy Monday. Happy beginning of the work week. And happy 2024 if this is the first time that you are joining me this year. Welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. So once you hop on tonight's live or you hop on the replay at a later date, feel free to say hi in the comments and tell me where you're watching from. Also, I just want to let you know that I'm live in 3 locations this evening. So if you hear me refer to a comment that you don't see in your comment feed, that person may be viewing and commenting from a different platform. Also, if you happen to be viewing from my private Facebook group, there is a permission link in the description of the video. Clicking that link just allows StreamYard, the platform that I'm multi-streaming with, it gives StreamYard permission to pin your profile name and pic to your comment. You can choose not to click that link. Just know that your comment will show up as Facebook user in my comments. I'll still interact. I'll still say hi. I'll answer any questions. I just may not know who I'm interacting with. And as always, if at any time during this project you like what you see, please feel free to hit the heart button or the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, follow, and as always, tag your crafty friends and invite them to watch along with me. And if you would also, please feel free to spread the craft love all over Facebook, wherever you're at and wherever you have permission. So with that, let's go. I'm going to look over here at my comments. I see that Jason is watching from the other side of the door. And again, as you hop on and you want to, excuse me, please feel free to say hi. And you can always tell me where you are watching from. So with that, I'm going to go ahead. Sorry, there's some flickering. That's just kind of how my life works. So, and I apologize. We are currently in a winter storm. I don't anticipate the power going out, but I have no idea what's going to happen. But let's just enjoy ourselves while we can. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera, and I will show you tonight's project. So this happens to be a retired transfer, and these are my little pieces, but I do have one available. So if you are interested, I will be using the color of the month from a few months ago called Nominee. And if you did not get it, I do have one transfer, and I have a brand new jar of Nominee paste. If you are interested in purchasing it, please let me know. You can always, let me see if I have my email in the comments. You can always email me at robinseggluecreations@gmail.com, or you can always message me on any of my social media channels. So just let me know if you might be interested in that. Let me go ahead and flip-flop that. So I do have an extra Nominee, and I do have this transfer available. So this is called the Hearts pattern. I'm going to put this one away because it's the new one. So I'm going to be using these pieces. Some of these are well used. I actually acquired these from an acquaintance. And then I'm going to use the small one from the Heart Nose. I don't think I have this one in my stock, but I can maybe try to find it for you if you happen to be interested. But I'm going to be using this one. So these are, if you are new here, these are reusable silkscreen transfers. They are reusable about 8 to 12 times depending on how well you take care of them. Because they are reusable and you need to put them back on the carrier sheet before you put them away, we need to just note somewhere that this is the back side. You can always I always write the transfer name just in case I have a couple of C-size transfers out. I know specifically that this goes with this. So when I'm done cleaning it with just basic water, let it dry, I know that this is the back side. And then the transfer needs to go back on this page or on this side. You'll also see that there are some cut lines. I like to keep my backer sheet intact until I know how I'm going to store them. Typically store mine by size. So I will eventually cut this one up because these are more A size, which is 5x7-ish in size. I try to store them by surface size. So I will eventually be cutting this up and storing it with my A size transfers. But just to keep everything intact tonight, I just want to keep my backer sheet together. So I'm going to lift up my transfer. I'm going to put my scissors underneath, and I'm just going to score down that line. Same way this side. If I can get it pulled up, there we go. Okay, so that will be ready to go. So I'm just going to put that one aside for now. I'm going to use these other, I'll have to I don't think these are going to fit. I think these are too big. But let's verify to make sure. Yep, they hang off. Which is a bummer because I like that one. Okay, so we'll put those aside. So I'm going to be working on these chunky 6x6 stretched canvases. I have already put 2 coats of what's called chalky gesso. This is what the bottle looks like. This one's gray. I did just use white. So I put 2 coats on. I'm hoping I don't have to wax, but we'll see. So that's what we'll be using. And then I have all of these felt florals that we're going to add at the end. So let's get going. I'm going to remove the cardboard that I was painting on. Because these have this opening, you need to make sure you put something in it. And a chalk for these specific 6x6, a tub of chalk paste works. I also have this thing of wax, but I think this will work. You just want to make sure that the inside isn't going to give, because then you might not get good adhesion with your paste. So let's bring in this first one. And because this is textured, because this is kind of a fabric canvas kind of fabric, I want to make sure that I keep my transfer as sticky as I can. Normally we try to knock back some of the adhesive, but on a canvas surface, I want to keep it as sticky as I can. I'm going to try actually. So I'm going to use my board here that has measurements, and actually to find the center, which I could easily use the point of the heart right there. But if I didn't have an exact way to find the center, you can line up each individual side together, right sides together. And then I just give a little pinch up here. And then I have a little mark right there that shows my center. So I'm going to line that up with my center marking on my ruler. I'm going to pull it up some. And then I'm just going to lift it up and make sure I have the same amount of room roughly from top to bottom. And then I'm just really going to burnish it well. Make sure all of my edges are sealed. And I still have a little bit of give over here, but I think that'll work. I'm looking around my craft room to see what else I could put under there, but I think that'll work. So again, we're using Nominee, and I do have an extra brand new one if you are interested in purchasing it. So this is, it's similar to our shimmer paste, but it's more of a metallic sheen. So it's a little less shimmery and a little more metallic looking. So I'm just going to use a small squeegee. I'm going to get a little bit on this squeegee, and then I'm just going to gently, because we're working on a canvas, and because it's got kind of has an uneven surface because of the way that it gives, I'm going to use a really light hand, which means I'm just not going to use a lot of force to move my ink. I'm just going to be really gentle-handed, hoping that that doesn't bleed. Are you saying, Jason says that's fancy. Are you meaning the chalk paste? The sheen? It's a really pretty. I kind of hope that when the new spring summer catalog comes out that we have some more of these metallic sheen colors as regular paste colors. It's really pretty. And the camera does not do it justice. Okay, I'm going to peel up slowly just in case I need to fix any places. Like there's a little spot right there. So I'm just gently laying it back down, trying to push that paste through that silk screen. That's kind of why I'm going slow. I'm going to come back up here and fix another little spot. There. Oops. I'm just going to keep, this is a good way for me to practice doing this too, because I used to be terrible at it. As long as you don't move your remove your transfer completely, you can usually put it back down. And I think it's because this canvas gives a little bit. Fix a little bit on the bottom. There we go. Really pretty. I have to figure out which one I'm going to duplicate because I only have 3 small hearts. And then I can, that way I can also show you, look at that. See, instead of being very shimmery, it's just, there's just a kind of a metallic foil look to it. So pretty. It's one of my favorite colors. I don't really want to sell this because it's such a fun color, but if anyone that missed out on it would like to have it, I would be more than happy to sell it. I think I'm going to use, I think I'll duplicate the polka dot because I think that could actually be kept out for, oh shoot, that's okay, for things other than Valentine's Day. Like this one's kind of Valentine's Day specific. So once I'm done with this one, I will show you how to clean the transfers. So let's, and I put the other one on my little, I have a little side table over here, and I just sprayed it with some water just to keep that paste moist until I have a chance to clean it. So next I'm going to peel this one off with the little arrows. So I'll put that one to the side. And again, I can use my mat here. Let's move this so you don't get such a glare. I love this glass mat, but it glares with my light that's overhead. So again, if you want to find the center, you can line up the edges of your silk screen design, pinch it here in the middle, and then that gives you a little mark here. But the heart automatically has its own center, but if you needed to find the center, that's a really good way to find the center. And this is a straight edge, so I'm able I'm going to pull it down just so I can see it a little more. So I can use that straight edge to help me line it up. I'm just trying to get an even spacing from top to bottom. Easier said than done, huh? I think that'll work. Now, I'm just lifting it up so I can get some light through the top to make sure that I have it fairly even. I need my little thing of paste there. So again, I want to make sure the edges are sealed and that these little arrow marks are sealed. Now this one has, that one did too, but this one has a lot more open silk screen and it can kind of bunch up if you're not careful. So again, this is where your light hand needs to come into play. And even as this, I sure wish I had something a little more square, but I don't. So again, I'm going to use a light hand, try really hard not to wrinkle that silk screen. In fact, I'm going to get a bunch more than I expect because then it'll be easier to move. And I won't have to use as many squeegee passes to get it covered. And then I want to even out my squeegee lines because those will show if in your dry design. And now I'm going to pull it off slowly. Oops, I can already see. I think this is just from the canvas giving a little bit. There's that one. So I'm going to lay that down on my table and give it a good spray. We'll put that one to the side. Oops, I need my, so those can dry while we're hanging out over here. In fact, I'll move this one out of the way. And then let's put this down and we'll bring it in our polka dots. And you can always cut away this excess. You do not need it. That's way too high. Okay, I'm just going to lift it up. Nope. A little uneven, I think. A little crooked. That's a little better, I think. So I'm going to burnish it really well. And I'm going to get some more chalk paste. Yeah. the hearts up here are kind of given a little bit. So you have to be kind of careful with stretch canvases. Make sure you always have something underneath. Like a rolled up washcloth would work. You could even make, just if you have some scrap wood laying around, make a scrap piece of wood that fits entirely in here so that the whole area is full. So I'm going to pull this off slowly in case there's any spots I need to go back and fix. These pesky little edges. And if you like that distressed look, you can certainly leave it that way. Ta-da! There's the polka dot. That one really shows the metallic sheen. Okay, so I want to wash that. I could probably, well, let's see if we can get away with it. Ugh. Playing chalk roulette. Sometimes you can get away with it. I'm just going to gently rub it down. Cross your fingers. So I'm going to get some more paste. And we'll see if we can get lucky. If I don't like it, I can always kind of sand it down gently and repaint it and try it with a clean transfer. Sometimes, though, you can get lucky. Well, you can see my round chalk paste lid. Hopefully that doesn't come through in the end. I'm kind of lift it up a little bit. Okay, let's see what we have. One little tiny spot. There are some others, but I can live with those. And then down here at the bottom. Got it. Okay. Let's clean off my squeegee. Put my lid on. I'm done with that. Pretty easy. In less than 24 minutes, we have created 4 canvases. I'm going to put these out of the way. I want to show you really quick how to clean these, because that is, in my mind, one of the biggest advantages of the product. It is like the piece de resistance. So all you need to clean these transfers is just a water source. So tonight I just have this tub of water. Usually this is sitting in my utility sink. And you just need place it in water. And then preferably you need a board eraser. and these are available on my chalk site. They work not only great for your boards and your chalkboards and your glass surfaces, but they work great to clean your transfers. I just kind of rub this gently on the bottom of my tub. There's a little bit of texture, so I think it kind of helps scrub on some of that paste. And so then I just kind of hold it on one end. So I have the paste side up. I'm going to wet my board eraser, and I'm just going to drag it down that silk screen area, and then I only go one direction, so I go from top to bottom. So I'm flipping it around so I can get that other edge. And then just in case not all of the paste has released from the silk screen, you can turn it over and gently wipe the back. That also gets off any lint that you may have put on the transfer if you happen to fuzz it. And then just lay it sticky side up. And if I can get and then if it's an older transfer, like this one is an older, sometimes I'll take a disinfecting wipe to the back, string, and kind of helps get some more of that fuzz off. Also helps release some more of that paste if there's any stuck. And then you just want to let these air dry, sticky side up, maybe 20 minutes, and then you can stick them right back down on the backer sheet, and then they're ready to store away. Easy peasy. Your squeegees also clean up with water. I just get these kitchen sponges. If you use the board eraser, the squeegees have a tendency to tear at the board eraser, and they don't last as long, but I just keep one of these kitchen sponges around, and it works great to clean your squeegees. Easy peasy. Super easy to clean. Don't mind my son. He's a little loud this evening. Okay, so let's bring our canvases back out. I'm going to put that away. And then we are going to make, first I want to make sure they're dry, but we're going to make some, these, may not use these, but these are some that I've used for other projects. So we're just going to make some felt flowers. I've also cut out some leaves. And then I also have some faux greenery here as well. So we're just going to use a combination of all of that. But I want to make sure these are dry. I'm just going to use the quick dry tool. I think I remember putting in the description, if you're interested in purchasing the transfer and or that color of the month nominee paste, comment hearts in the description in the comments, and I will send you that information. And it is first come, first buy. So these two I think are dry. I'm trying to think. So let's push those up a little bit. Hello, Miss Kara. How are you doing this evening? She says, so pretty, thank you. So I cut out a couple of spiral flowers with some of my Sizzix dies. I also cut out some leaves. We can make some other little flower accents. And then I have some faux florals. Kara says she's all tucked in. She had to take, poor thing, had to take care of cattle today, cattle that are getting ready to have baby calves. Is that correct? So she had to get them all tucked in, and then she had to get herself all tucked in. So she's had a busy day. Okay, I'm just trying to find, see if those will might work. I don't think I have any reverse tweezers. That's okay. So these are a spiral rose, and I have a Sizzix die that cuts those out. So you just want to start at this small end, and you're just going to tuck this little end in. And I'm going to add just a tiny bit of glue. And I'm going to keep rolling that. I haven't made felt flowers in a while, so it's probably going to be a little slow going. And just keep rolling it. You don't have to add glue, but all the way down, but I think it helps keep it from unrolling on you. And we may not do all 4 online on the live, but I'll definitely do a couple. So just keep going. Add a little more glue. And then when you get to the end, this circle piece is going to be the bottom of your flower. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue here and get that piece tucked. And so then you have kind of the spiral on the bottom. I'm going to add a bunch of glue to this circle. And then I'm going to press it down. And if you don't like the way that your center looks, you kind of go in with some needle nose pliers and kind of give it a little twirl. And that's what you have. So we'll put that one there. And then I thought about, yeah, I think we'll do that. But let's do a peach one next. It's kind of a blush pink, so it'll kind of have some spiked petals. So again, we do it the same way. I have glue coming out the sides of my glue gun. So you're just going to pinch that middle part. Now, I don't put glue on that middle part in case I need to fix the center. Kind of start a few turns in. Add another glue stick. And I'm no means a professional felt florist. Hey, Emily. She says, too cute. She loves the arrows. Thank you. So I do have, if you're hopping on late, I used 2 retired transfers, but I do have, you can see, I do have this one available. So it has the polka dot and the XOXO heart available. So I do have this one for sale. I also have a tub of the retired color of the month, the Nominee metallic sheen chalk paste, if anyone's interested. I do not have the arrows, however. But if you are interested in that one, I could probably talk to some of my fellow designers and see if they had one available. Not to be salesy or anything, but I need to get rid of some of my stock. It is overwhelming. And I just want to get it into your hands because it's just so fun to play with. Again, I told you I'm slow at this. I'm just going to go all the way to the end. So I've got to the end. So I'm going to put glue on this circle. I'm going to press it down. I've got glue strings everywhere. And then that's that little flower. So we'll put that there. Well, let's add a few leaves. This might be a little big. I'm going to cut this one. Let's find some scissors. So I'm just going to fold this one in half and kind of cut a little bit off of the edges, just to kind of match the shape that it is now. Just make it a little smaller. Maybe a little more to scale. That's better. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down the center on one end. The stick is not staying in. And then I'm just going to pinch that. Hey, Miss Ashley, how are you? And so then we'll get a little tuck pleated leaf that we can stick in. And I'm not set on any of this placement yet. So let's cut this one down because it's a little too big. So I'm just folding it in half. And I'm just going to trim the edges. Throw those away. So what'd y'all do this last weekend besides get ready for Snowmageddon? I actually cleaned my craft room a little bit. It's not perfect, but I do have a few. I have I have two of those long white lightweight tables. And then I have a drafting table kind of surface, and those were piled full of crap. Like literally piled. So I spent some time this weekend clearing those off, and it was nice to be able to come into some clean-ish surfaces so that I could cut some felt. So it was nice. It makes me definitely want to make sure that they stay clean. Ashley says she's watching the pretty snow. It's coming down pretty good out there. Okay, so this was one of my scraps, so it kind of looked like similar to this. So if it's a decent amount left over, I will kind of trim some of these pieces. And then I end up with these strips like this. Don't throw those away because those make really pretty flowers. So I'm just going to run some glue on this edge. And then I'm going to fold it in half. And so then I'm going to end up with kind of a semi-tube. And so then I have kind of this tube looking thing. So I'm going to put my glued edge up toward the top. These aren't the best scissors, but I will use them. Preferably you need a smaller pair of scissors that you can control a lot easier, would work better. But you just want to make tiny snips almost up to that little glue line, to your glue line, kind of like that. And it'll make a really pretty flower. So this is another way to make a spiral flower. And it's even great if you don't have a die. So if you don't have any dies, just create a random strip of felt, or you can even use plain fabric. Ashley says she went to Flipping Fabulous to get your booth started. Yay! Good for you. Now I can buy pens. Yay! I'll have to go check them out. You are brave going today in that wet sloshy stuff. So then I'm just going to add some glue. I need to go there and pull all of my Christmas stuff, but I think that'll have to wait till later on in the week. So I also have to go through my Valentine's Day stuff and see what I have left over from last year. So then you just want to keep rolling it. And I'll show you another version too. This is a good way to use up some of your scraps that you're left with. And then you end up with that little bud. And if you're not confident with how well you sealed it with the glue, you can always run some glue on the bottom just to kind of secure all your spirals. And then I'll just leave that sitting there. Let's do, I was kind of hoping that would be a little wider. Okay, did we get, oh, and then we need to do some of these. So you can use either rounded petals, or you can use either, or kind of like a daisy shape petal. So on these, I just like to put a little bit of glue, and then I fold it in half, and I kind of overlap the edges. I don't know if that's the right word. Kind of make them to where they go in between the other petals on the other side. And I'm going to add some more glue. And then I'm going to make another quarter fold and kind of hold that till it dries. I'm so excited. Good for you, Miss Ashley. So if you're in the market for some glitter pens, like those the Ink Joy glitter pens, I think you've probably made some mechanical pencils and all that kind of stuff too. Head down to Flipping Fabulous in downtown Salina. So you can do a little grouping kind of like that. I wish this were wider. Let's do, I think that, I'm just looking at my image on the camera. That's actually a pretty good little grouping. So let's, oh, I forgot about this little guy, but it might be too much. Let me get it to where I can see it. I'm wondering if I need maybe one more leaf for, yeah, we'll try one more leaf. So we'll cut this one just because these are a little big scale wise for the rest of the, You'll have some pins in the salon as well. Oh no, double trouble for me. Now I'll have 2 times to try not to buy all the pretties. But they're just so pretty. But I need to buy some for gifts and stuff. Guess what you're getting for Christmas, Kara? You're getting some glitter pens. And some resin earrings if I can get those made. Which that was part of the reason why I cleaned this weekend, was so that I had some table space for... Okay, I think I'm going to shift all that so that if this is a shelf sitter... Ooh, that's cute. So I haven't glued anything down yet, but that's super cute. I want to make sure that if somebody sits this down, that leaf isn't hanging. Okay, so now the hard part is remembering how I had it without. So I'm going to add some glue here, and I think I'm going to put my paste jar back under there just to give me some more stability when I'm gluing on my flowers. And then I think these tucked there. You probably can't see what I'm doing. So I'm just kind of tucking these in so that they'll be hidden by the rest of the flowers. And then like on, for example, on this one, there's always a kind of a wonky seam. If you're going to place that, you want to make sure that you kind of place that towards another flower so that it's kind of hidden. I'm going to trim. This one has some overlap, so I'm going to trim that a little bit. Smaller scissors are definitely useful. And I'm going to tuck that, I think. I'm trying to remember how. This is the hardest part, just trying to remember how you had it. I think like that. So I'm going to glue this one. I think we'll just do one because this was taking me forever, but you kind of get the gist. Jason says he loves my felt flowers, and Ashley says it's super cute. And she also says, I can't wait to see your earrings. I hope I get them. Okay, so I think that's going to tuck in. And again, this flower also has a weird seam right there, so I tuck it so that it's underneath this leaf right here. So I think I'll put this one in next. I may not need any of that faux evergreen, but don't be afraid to mix faux greenery with felt florals. It looks great together. Sometimes it's a good way to maximize your little arrangements. And I kind of sometimes give a little tug, especially if you're using faux greenery. It will sometimes start to melt away, but you want to make sure that you have a good contact. See it? These are kind of big, but I could cut off some of these smaller ones. But see, it doesn't look bad. I mean, I definitely wouldn't use one that's that big, but don't be afraid to use faux greenery because it looks just as good as felt leaves do. I maybe should have just left it at 2. Would you have left it at 2 leaves or would you have added 3? I don't mind it. I don't hate it, but it's kind of super cute actually. The pressure's on for me to get my earrings done. Yes, yes, yes. So there are those. So I will continue to make flowers. I will get the rest finished. Even the purple one's not terrible. It's a little big actually for a scale, so I just need to make a bigger heart. But don't be afraid to cut, hand cut things either. I'm not the best at it, but you could find some images on Google, like, and use those to make patterns. So you can kind of make a kind of a bulb shape and then go up to a point. This one needs to come in a little bit. I'm still learning how to hand cut. I prefer the perfection of a die, but once you tuck it like that, if it's not perfect, it won't show. And plus, if you look at a flower, they're probably not perfectly round or perfectly oval, or so don't be afraid to hand cut either. These are easy to make. Just use like a circle plate and make a circle and then just cut it into a spiral. You don't have to have the fancy edging, or you could even cut it into a spiral using pinking shears. That would work. So you don't have to have fancy dies. I just, again, it's another crafty tool that I like to collect and rarely use, but you mix it up 2 or 3. Oh, you do mix it up, sometimes 2, sometimes 3 leaves. Okie doke. While I need to do 2 things while I have you on. Let me show you this from up front. Very pretty. I love these. I can't wait to get the rest done. And you can sand around the edges to distress them. I think it would look really pretty with a little bit of like brown wax or even some gold leafing. I may have to add that. I just wasn't prepared. Like I might sand to the edges just a tad. I don't want to sand through to and rip the canvas, but then I can add a little bit of gold rub and buff, and I think that would be really pretty around the edges here. 2 things. Let me do the drawing from this morning's live, and then stay on because there is the Creative Kickstart, the 2024 Creative Kickstart is launching tomorrow. And I just happened to look at the PDF version of the lookbook, and oh my goodness, you need to stay on. But let's do the drawing because I always forget that. So I'm going to share my screen. So I'm doing the live check-in from this morning. So when I go live, I have a post. Let's remove this. I do a check-in post that morning, and everyone that participates in that check-in post gets an automatic entry into the drawing that night. No purchase necessary. You don't even have to be on the live to win. But that's what I'm sharing right now. So let's go over to, where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, so these are the comments. So it was, if you could cook with any celebrity chef, who would it be? And we had Andrew Zimmern, Guy Fieri, Martha Stewart, or Rachel Ray. I picked Bobby Flay. He's my favorite. So I'm going to confirm these comments. And if I win, I'll redraw. So let's count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amanda is the winner. Congratulations, Amanda. I will get with her to get her prize. So we've done that. So let's stop sharing, but I'm going to reshare. I want to show you the lookbook for the Creative Kickstart. It launches tomorrow at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, which is 10 a.m. Central Time. So let's share this. Make sure you can see it. Yep. Whoops. You're not at the top. Okay. Whoops. I didn't get you at the top. Sorry. Okay. So this is the Creative Kickstart. So this is just a little sampling. But these are some of the hoodies and t-shirts and tote bags and hats that have been made. So you have 6 different transfers. Very retro looking fonts and designs. So there's Be Salty, Let Go and Let God. And it says God is good all the time, y'all. And then maybe today, maybe not today, Satan. Oh, they didn't. Oh yeah, maybe not today. Maybe today, Satan. Not. They just didn't put it on the tote bag. Being kind is cool. Main character energy, and woke up like this. Those are fun. Those are perfect for graphic tees, hoodies. So these are just some instructions. And then here are some kitchen herbs and the chalkable shapes. And there is a new surface. It's called Outside the Box Frame, which is really cool. It's kind of a light, kind of a light wood frame. And then there's an antique typewriter, which I think is so fun. And then, ooh, I didn't see that, the medium polka dot. I am a sucker for some polka dots. Jason says the drawing is rigged. Amanda always seems to win. I don't know how. There's a bold amen that looks great in the box frame, in the drop-in box frame. There's a mini typewriter font. I also love a typewriter font, but I'd love a lowercase typewriter font particularly. Confetti Hooray. Oh, I didn't see that one. It's an ASL alphabet. Oh, be still my heart. I'm going to have to make one for my mom and maybe my sister. Oh, I love it. Love, love, love. And then this just shows a couple of ways to use the transfers with furniture refinishing. So there's an everyday patterns, really pretty. There's some bold patterns. And then there's a dragonfly vines that has a great little welcome and then established, which you can pair great with the fonts. It also looks really cool on the hoop wreath, which has interchangeable parts, and da-da-da-da. So we had sports last fall. Now we have musical instruments. I am going to have to get some of these. I wasn't particularly fond of the sports, but I really love the instruments. The French horn, the flute, the piano keys. Ay, ay, ay. And it comes with the chalkable, and you get the chalkable shapes. So you get a trumpet, a clarinet, a French horn, a saxophone, a violin, a flute, and a piano. Oh, loving it. And then there is a vintage label and crowns. We still have the etching cream, and then the vintage, excuse me, label and crowns, chalkable shapes. And then here is how you can use the etching cream. And that's it. Lots of fun stuff. Lots and lots of fun stuff. I'm excited. I'm poor, but I'm excited. I still have some gift cards from Christmas, so we'll have to use those. So with that, I plan on being live on Wednesday. What was my... Did I have a project already planned? I think. I don't remember what it was. I wrote it down in my planner. It's always helpful when you can write stuff down in your planner and then you don't remember what you wrote. I don't remember, but I'll have a I'll have a project on Wednesday. I should be live again at 7:30 p.m. Be looking for links to shop the Creative Kickstart tomorrow. If there are any promotions associated with that, I'll let you know. Also, don't forget we have the ink palette pack as the color of the month. These are color changing inks, and you have the ability to unlock you can unlock the ability to purchase these with a $75 purchase. So pair that with the Creative Kickstart that launches tomorrow, and that would be a great way to get the ability to purchase these color changing inks. So you have 2 different colors. They're really fun. So when they get in the sunlight, they change colors. So keep that in mind. Thanks for hanging out with me this evening. It was kind of a long project with the felt flowers, but I'm glad you stuck it out. I think they turned out super cute. I will finish the other 3, and I will let you can come and check out the photos on my page. As always, thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you later. Thanks for watching.